So we're going to talk about sorting. The sort methods are designed to work with text, not numbers, but there's a way to tweak sort to have it work with numbers. So we'll talk about sort first and the little tweaks you can make for numeric arrays, and then the next video will talk about reverse. So the sort method, super easy to use if you have alphabetic data, because it's just your array name dot sort, and it will put it in A to Z order. And I'll go ahead and talk about reverse, because reverse is super easy to use too. So if you want descending order Z to A and you have alphabetic data in your array, it's just the array name dot reverse. Okay? It does not get easier than that. So here's the array, colors dot reverse puts it in descending order. So if you've got alphabetic data, sort and reverse are really easy to use. If you have numbers, numeric data is a little more difficult, not impossible, but you do have to tweak the sort method. You don't use reverse, okay? You have to use sort. And basically what you do inside the parameter list is you have an anonymous function. So here is my array, and this is numeric, and I'm going to use sort to sort that number array. And this one is going to be in ascending order. So what ends up happening is sort ends up iterating through this list several times until it has the correct order. But we end up passing this anonymous function the first two values. And then it returns the first number minus the second one. So 40 minus 100, it returns a 60. Where does that get returned to? Well, that gets returned to sort. So what sort does is it interprets that then, that negative 60, as B is bigger than A. So in my sorted list, I need to put 100 after 40 if I'm doing ascending order. So I have 40 and then I have 100. Okay, and then the next two numbers get passed. Okay, so then it subtracts them again. 100 minus 1 is 99. So it knows that A is bigger than B. So it takes the 1, and because this is ascending order, and it puts it above the 100. Okay, and then we have the 1 and the 5. So it sends it, it returns a negative 4, so now it knows that 5 is bigger than 1. And so it puts the 1 above the 5, because this is, again, ascending order, not descending order, and so on. So it sends it pairs and does the subtraction to try to figure out which one is bigger. It adjusts the order, and it has to go through this several times before it gets the numbers all sorted correctly. And the descending example is very similar. Okay, the difference is that instead of returning A minus B, it returns B minus A. So it kind of does the opposite. So when we send it 40 and 100, now it's taking 100 and subtracting out 40, which is positive 60. Okay, so descending order, that would mean that it still is interpreting 100 as bigger than 40, but if it wants descending order, it's going to put the 100 higher in the list because it wants the big numbers at the top. Okay, then it does 101. So 1 minus 100 is negative 99. So it does know 100 is bigger. And so the 100 goes above the list, above the 1. Okay, and so on. So that is basically how it is trying to figure out which number is bigger, and it's going to have to run through this function several times. So I do have a little example here of all sorts of different sorts, and I got buttons that will do the sorting. So this is my initial array, and I have an alphabetic sort, so you can kind of see how alphabetic sorting works. And amazingly, in this case, it worked. Does not always with numbers. And if I do sort numerically descending, you can see it went from big to little. And then if I do ascending, little to big. So if you have numbers, you really should use those functions in here because they will do it correctly. Okay? There won't be any question as to whether the sort will work or not.